welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about some trends, sorta, more so the concept of what the cool girls are wearing this season. Yes, I said season because I'm part of the 12% of the world's population who's going into autumn, not spring. And of course the catch is that cool girls wear whatever the hell they want, so really this is just a video of me talking about stuff I've been enjoying recently. I'm going to try and not be too repetitive today because honestly a bunch of the trends I love I have been talking about for a few years. For example, bubble hems, who are having their big moment right now, and obviously a dress over pants. It's to the point now where I can't even remember what I did prior to this being my favorite thing to style. And the thing I love about these more overarching trends, I guess, is that they tend to stick around for a lot longer because there's just more room to play around with different ideas and concepts, which brings me to my first one today, aprons. Because theoretically, if you're an enjoyer of skirts over pants, I feel like you'd also appreciate the silhouette of an apron. I do love me an ultra girly girl look, but even more than that, I love balance and juxtaposition, which I think is why I was a little bit skeptical on getting anything that was too frilly or lacy, because teamed with my usual color palette and styling, it might just lean a little bit too costumey for my personal taste at least, which is why I was so stoked with my buyee find of this Betty's Blue denim apron. It still has the cutesy factor thanks to the embroidery, but with the dark wash denim, I just feel like it's going to be more versatile to play around with. Honestly, now I'm thinking about it, I feel like this is the sort of trend I've seen a bunch of people reference and talk about in like predictions videos, but I don't actually think I've seen too many people wearing it, but I'm very excited. Something we've been seeing quite a bit of, but I think is just going to continue to gain momentum, is pins, badges, brooches. Obviously, this isn't a new concept. It's always been very popular, particularly in fandom culture. For example, I have my Skate the Infinity pins on this denim bag. I remember back in school getting like My Chemical Romance badges, and I just know the eater bag community must be laughing because they absolutely own this concept. I feel like it can be kind of tricky to source if you're looking for something that aligns with your interests, but also looks cute and suits your aesthetic, which is why I ended up just buying a bunch of blanks. Fingers crossed I can make these look cute. So the plan is to have a few of them scattered across the top of the jeans, and I did pick them up in 2 different sizes, so I just wanted to play around with the placement. That way I have a better idea of how many images I need to resize. I was just searching for pictures on Pinterest. I didn't want them to be too matchy and stick to a very strict color palette, but obviously I still wanted them to be somewhat cohesive. I found it easiest to crop them each into a circle first, and then on Procreate I was able to easily resize them. I was working with 4 centimeters and 6. After playing around with the options a little bit, I finally committed to printing them out, and then went old school, just cut them out with scissors. This was literally so easy. The tops just pop up. I was a little bit worried because I know a lot of people get like the full badge machines, but this was way cheaper, super simple, and I think it turned out really cute. It's kind of hard to get a good look at them on camera just because of the reflection of the lights, but hopefully you're getting the vibes. We've got a selection of some of my favorite things. And now this has me thinking I'm gonna have to order the heart-shaped keychain versions as well so I can try this DIY belt that I've been seeing everywhere. And I wasn't originally planning on doing a bag as well, but after collecting more reference images for this video, I was like, you know what? The brooches are actually looking really cool. So I tried it out on this cute little mini tartan bag. I don't have the biggest brooch collection, so I knew I'd have to go for a mixed metals sort of situation. And I also used a ton of earrings as well to try and fill out the gaps. I'm not sure if it necessarily suits my personal style. Like I couldn't imagine myself reaching for it on an everyday basis, but that doesn't mean I don't love it. Like I'm actually surprised how well it turned out. At this point, it's very well documented that I'm a hat lover. I'm always looking to add new ones to my collection, and I feel like what I've been seeing pop up the most, at least when I'm scrolling on Xiaohongshu, is I just realized that I don't actually know what they're called, but you guys know the vibes I mean. It's like a flat top grandpa sort of energy. I have previously thrifted one in a red faux leather, which I absolutely loved, but it has unfortunately started peeling on me, so I decided to keep it in the same color family but treat myself to this little plaid option. Pretty much it doesn't matter what hat is currently trending, chances are I'm going to be a fan of it, potentially already own it, and that also doesn't stop me from wearing the other hats in my collection. Like whatever goes with the outfit, I'll be reaching for. The exception is if I don't feel like it suits my face shape, I guess. Like for example, I've spoken about it before, but like the slinky hoodies are trending even more so now that we've just had Coachella and I feel like every other person was wearing it. Same goes for any sort of like headscarves. I feel like I've seen some really adorable ones recently, but whenever I try them, I just don't love it. Oh, and also speaking of Coachella, I was surprised to see such a heavy comeback of the fur boots. Like it really wasn't that long ago that we saw them when everyone was getting the secondhand Roxy ones. I was obsessed way too expensive for me though, and realistically, how often are you gonna wear them? Because I feel like unless the weather is perfect, even then, they're gonna get pretty filthy. Now I'm trying to think if there's any other standout trends that I remember seeing at Coachella. Let me know if you can think of any. For me, maybe buttons. I don't even think I saw that many people wearing them, but Adrian's DIY hot pants just made such an impression on me. I absolutely have to talk about Sailor, and I feel like this can be quite a divisive one. You either love it or hate it. It's something that has always rolled back around time and time again. But actually, if you're into J fashion and to a certain extent even K-pop styling, I feel like it's almost more classified as a staple, and it's another one of those ones that can manifest in a few different ways, so you can choose which avenue suits you. Personally, I love the collars. I just think they're so cute. I have a couple of items with this feature, but they're more winter wear, so I don't get to reach for them as often as I would like, which is why I'm so excited to pick up this sweet little short sleeve version from Rola. It actually looks pretty good, just styled very simply. Although it does lean a little bit into uniform territory, I decided to throw on a couple of extra layers and accessories, and I think this almost took it into like the quirky side character in a coming of age film. I don't know if you're seeing the vision, but I think I like it. Now this one, I genuinely can't tell if it would necessarily be considered a trend, or it's just something that I've fallen in love with. The algorithm's done its thing and I'm seeing it everywhere. I don't even know what to call it. Goldfish aquarium? Question mark. I almost want to say that the trend is more so the photography. So many beautiful images at aquariums or in front of fish tanks. Pretty random, but on top of that, my favorite filter on TikTok is the one with the goldfish going around the head. I eat it up every time. Something about it also kind of gives me Frutiger Aero vibes, which I feel like makes sense because we're kind of like moved past Y2K into the mid 2000s now. As far as fashion goes though, I feel like the main thing I've seen is the Midi collection. I fall more and more in love with this every time I see someone style it, and it's been a back and forth battle inside my brain since last year on whether or not I wanted to purchase, just because I haven't had the best experience with them personally as far as the quality. Which, side note, I feel like we could all benefit from taking a little bit of extra time before jumping into a trend or a purchase. It's been a good 6 months now. I'm still thinking about it all the time, so I felt justified. I still was too scared to go back to Midi though. Instead, I got this stunning top, like the color combination, the print. It is in like an accordion sort of style, I guess, very popcorn shirt adjacent, but I actually love it. Something about this top was telling me to keep it very simple and chic, so I decided on all black, but honestly, I think it's going to be more versatile than you might expect. Like, it would look great dressed down casual, baggy jeans, or even going for like a cutesy white bubble hem mini. Okay, this one is more so geared to those of us going into autumn rather than spring, I guess, so I'm sorry, but it is ponchos. And I believe I've spoken about it before, but it hasn't really had like its big moment yet. Very much still on the come up, which, as we've discussed, is a good place to be. I feel like my love for these has been recently reiterated from a rewatch of Community Todoke, of course, in preparation for the new season, but also it's just a good, easy comfort watch, which honestly, if you have any recommendations, please let me know, because I feel like I've exhausted the well in which I usually reach into. Like, there's only so many times you can see the first few seasons of Gilmore Girls before it just doesn't hit the same anymore. Anyway, in the series, Sawako rocks a really cute poncho fit, and honestly, I feel like Sawako core is almost trending in its own right as well, and it works great for both spring and autumn. So I'm currently on the lookout for a similar cream one. I found a few decent options on eBay, but I don't know why. I was just hoping to stumble upon one in one of the local op shops, so hopefully soon. The option I do have, I feel almost leans a little bit more on the cape side of things rather than a true poncho, just because it doesn't really engulf you, I guess. I don't know. She's still cute. I feel like we're experiencing an epidemic of sorts when it comes to cute trinkets, and honestly, I could not be happier. I got a bunch of cool secondhand keychains on buyee recently, and I'm sure you guys are sick of me saying it, but bag decorating, it's very much been a thing, and honestly, I don't think I'm ever gonna get sick of it because it's just so joyful. I mean, why wouldn't I want to bring a little comfort character along with me to get through the day? Come on. I also love the people decorating the little clear pouches. I believe they're just from Daiso. I really need to hit up my local, and fingers crossed they have them, because I feel like they never have any of the good stuff I see online. But these are such a cute idea to have like a curation of your favorite trinkets. It almost reminds me of like a collage brought to life, or a mini portable shelf. Future me popping in here because I just cannot help myself. I need to share my mini haul of buyee trinkets. Of course, I needed the icon that is the Sylvanian family's bunny. I thought these kind of retro doll boxes were just adorable. Honestly, I have no idea idea what this is, but I liked the idea of it being in packaging, if that makes any sense. We've got a little fake baby Tamagotchi situation. I was heavily influenced from my scrolling on Xiaohongshu to buy one of these little Sanrio cases. To be fair, probably a tad large to be considered a trinket, but I still had to share my little Karu. Now I just need a Vivi so he's not lonely. And speaking of One Piece, my little Luffy Cupid keychain is probably my most used, but I think that we have some competition in the mix now. This Tony Chopper. This is everything I love in the sweetest little keychain. Of course I had to get one of these. I feel like every buyee haul I see includes one of them, and it's just a little silver flip phone keychain. But yeah, those are all the new additions. I'll just add them to the little My Melody basket where I keep all of the trinkets and just items that could potentially decorate a bag. So we've got like interesting claw clips, little plushies, photo card holders, bows. Honestly, at this point, I probably need to do like a mini bag collection when they're all decorated. So maybe I'll do a TikTok soon. Kind of along the same lines, and I guess also as part of the alleged 2010s comeback, is wearing merch. Actually, that sounds even more silly now that I've said it out loud, but hopefully you can see where I'm coming from. I feel like for a period there, we were all more so just wearing merch as pajamas, but as people want to make their style more and more personal, what better way to do that than showcase what your interests are? And I've seen this a lot with like nostalgic merch. So One Direction, Twilight. I love breaking out my wrestling merch because some of it I have literally had since I was a kid. And trust me, at the time, it definitely wasn't cool to be wearing it, but that did not stop me, okay? Wrestling, hyperfixation for the longest time, but nowadays you can actually make it into a really cute fit. And I feel like in a way this could almost be an extension of the jersey trend as well. Although the ones I was wearing previously were unbranded, some people got to show support for their favorite teams, and I was so excited. I recently found this vintage Magic jersey. We're big Orlando Magic fans in this house, so it's cool to have this piece to share. I'd love to get some more stylish anime merch, but all the good ones are so expensive to ship to Australia. I guess the key is people actually just have to make cute merch that you want to wear. So any artists touring this summer, please pay the design team. I really wanted to include just Carrie Bradshaw aesthetic in general. I feel like it's really having a moment. So many people seem to be watching or rewatching it. You can definitely think of key characteristics that go into her style, whether it's the heels, the capris, but I feel like the main takeaway is always going to be to have fun, take risks. I don't want to get too into it because I'm seriously considering doing a full Sex and the City lookbook. My only issue is I'm not sure if YouTube would like the title. But one of the trends that kind of reminds me of Carrie that I wanted to feature was tulle skirts. And actually, now that I think about it, I have mentioned this before, but I guess that just shows how much I love it. I also think it's a great transitional piece this time of year, whether you're in spring or autumn. This one's a new addition to my wardrobe. I just found the color quite unique, and the styling, you know what? Didn't end up being too Carrie Bradshaw-like, did it? Although if you stripped back the striped sweater and switched out the boots for a heel, I think she could be spotted in it. But personally, I just really love the pattern clashing of the stripes and the cherries, and a tall boot with a long skirt is always gonna look good. It always feels like everything and nothing is trending all at once these days, so some of these might not be on your radar, and there might be some others that you are screaming at the screen right now, why didn't she mention this? But I mean, please feel free to let me know what is trending on your side of the internet at the moment. What are you excited to wear this upcoming season? Maybe I can even film a part 2. But thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I see you soon. Bye!